Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're doing a little bit of a preview since the games have been announced for the 2023 World Series of Board Gaming.
Yes, the second ever, the sequel.
The sequel, will it live up to the original? No, but we just recently got back from the first World Series of Board Gaming, which was a great event that they hosted.
Wonderful experience.
Yeah, for sure. Because we've never been to any board gaming event before or convention or anything like that. So it was an awesome experience. I think it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, we've got a few videos on those. If you want, on kind of our whole experience and kind of our kind of hits and misses that we thought. Some growing pains from the first time ever doing a huge event like this. So definitely you can check those out to see if maybe this sounds like an event for you, but otherwise you can stay tuned here and see if these are the games for you.
Yes.
Kind of if they're some of your favorite games. I'd highly recommend looking into it if that is the case. But yeah, so the games were announced. It was actually kind of put up on their website like almost the same day, I think. I don't know if it's the same day or it was the day after the tournament started. So kind of, it seemed like all of their information almost got maybe not all of it, but a lot of it kind of got overwritten with kind of the next year's stuff. Because I went and I was like, oh, when are these events or whatever again? What times? And I'm looking, I'm like, these games aren't in there this year. And why does this say Sunday? They've got them announced because they are doing a second year of it, which is great. We'll just go over the games and kind of, I think, talk about which ones maybe we would attempt if we end up making it back there next year. So, actually, next year it'll be a little bit different. This year it was from, I think, Wednesday to Sunday.
Yep.
And this next year it will actually be Sunday, September 24th, 2023 to the Thursday.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a change there.
Interesting.
There's a little
Sunday seems like a weird day to start.
Yes, I would agree with that. It does seem a little strange to me, but I'm sure there are reasons. I just am not sure what they are, but it did seem a little bit strange. But anyway, starting on Sunday, there are 4 games, so I think this is a little bit different than kind of what they did this year, because I think the first day this year, kind of things started kind of late afternoon, and they only had 2 games the first day, but this next time there will be 4 games each day, and then the final day will be the semifinals and the finals events. But the first 4 are all games coming back for a second try, and that'll be Terraforming Mars, Gaia Project, Azul, and Ra. So there's 4 repeats from this year's. I think these were, I guess I don't know about Gaia Project so much, but I think the other 3, from what I kind of know, I'd say were pretty well attended, especially Terraforming Mars. That was one that I played this year, and it seemed pretty well attended.
Yeah, I think Terraforming Mars and Azul were both. I saw that on a lot of people's kind of name tag of has it listed which games they're entered in, and I saw those ones quite a few times. Not as much for Gaia or Ra, but yeah.
So I think those are some solid choices bringing them back. I think if I was picking one, I think I'd go back and try my luck again in Terraforming Mars. I still don't think that I'm amazing at it, and I actually got to, in the first round, face the person who ended up winning the whole Terraforming Mars ring event this year. So I know what has to be done, what level I have to get to have a chance.
Yes, maybe it rubbed off on you a little bit.
I hope it did, because he was to my right, so could have rubbed off a little bit. I'm hoping.
Yeah, if I had to go one of those, still played a little more Terraforming Mars lately, even with Stephen Bonacore, so maybe that rubbed off on me a little bit.
That he was sitting next to you, so
He was. So maybe I'll just become a god at Terraforming Mars now, but still not super confident in that. I'd probably go with either Azul or Ra. Ra, depending on if we were to get the game into our collection and play it more, because that's one that we played once and I really enjoyed. But Azul, I am a little more familiar with kind of that series of games, and I think the base game would be one that I could grasp pretty easily and possibly even be competitive in. So
yeah. But yeah, I think those are all solid game choices, and it's kind of got a little bit of a range, I think, there, where I think Azul is a little more welcoming, along with, I think, Ra.
Yep.
Those are, well, I think Ra kind of has maybe the most luck base in it.
Yep.
And then Azul, there's definitely a little more skill there, but I think it's a lot easier to grasp. Then you're getting to Gaia Project, which I think we haven't played that one, but I believe that one's probably the heaviest.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot going on there. And then you got Terraforming Mars, which I feel like is kind of somewhere in the middle between kind of Azul and what I assume Gaia Project is.
Yeah.
Might be leaning a little bit heavy.
Closer to Gaia, but I think it's also just so mainstream with kind of the name recognition. It kind of makes it a little more welcoming just because more people have played it.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's kind of a theme with all the days. I think they pick a great selection of games for possible people who aren't as into heavy games. They can also go 4 entries, 4 different tournaments, and still have a selection in each day that they'd be up for.
Right. Yep. Because then we get into Monday, and we start off with probably the heaviest one, and it's a new one to the list, and that is Ark Nova. So I wonder why they would put Ark Nova in there. It's not possibly that it's shot up. Probably since the announcement of this tournament, I think Ark Nova, I don't know, because it would have been late last year. I don't even know if Ark Nova was out yet.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it would have been.
No.
And if it was just coming out.
Yep.
And somehow between then and now, it's become the 4th highest rated game on Board Game Geek. So it's been a very popular game. It was one that I saw this year in the open gaming area and the kind of around the library gaming area. It seemed like a lot of people were playing a lot of the games that they were going to be playing later on in the tournaments. But then I think I saw Ark Nova out quite a bit as well. So I don't know if people were preparing already for next year or if they just wanted to learn this still very hot, popular game of Ark Nova. But so we got Ark Nova, Castles of Burgundy, Splendor, and Ticket to Ride. So I would say the Ticket to Ride and Splendor are kind of 2 of the maybe a little more approachable. I don't know if they're as approachable with the better players that are playing them.
Yeah, because if you watch the kind of Ticket to Ride game in the semifinals, which they have a video of that.
There's a live stream of
World Series of Board Gaming. You can go and watch that live stream of that play, and they probably play the game a little differently than us and your average gamers who. A lot of people who play Ticket to Ride, probably 90% of the people who played it would be like, what are they doing? This is crazy how different they play the game.
Right.
But, I mean, obviously, it must work.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, but it's giving you the opportunity to play those. And in the games we played this year, I played Terraforming Mars, and there were a couple people there that had played it, and they said hundreds of times, and I have not. It's one of my favorite games of all time, but I have not played it even close to that many times, and I still felt like I was in the game.
Yep.
I guess based on who ended up winning, I feel like halfway through I was pretty sure I wasn't going to win, but I still felt competitive, so that was good. So I think you could probably feel that in some of these games, even if they are using some more other strategies.
I'd probably, just because Ticket to Ride is kind of hacked, I guess I'll just say that, kind of a different way to play it if you are being super competitive about it, I think I'd probably might go for Splendor here, a game that I'm not even like a big fan of, but I have actually won it in tournament play in our first ever Nacho Average board game tournament. I was victorious in Splendor, even though I had practiced on the app and lost to the bot a few times before that. I somehow pulled off the win, and I feel like that's one that is simpler and possibly could get a little luck of kind of what cards come out where to set up your engine over others, and I think I'd need a little luck to possibly move on.
Yeah, I would not play Splendor myself because I don't
It's
know
a
that I've
quick
ever
game
won
that
that
you
game.
could get a lot of practice in.
That's
I
true.
think there's just a lot more investment for something like a bigger game like Ark Nova or Castles of Burgundy.
Yeah, I think my pick would probably be Castles of Burgundy. That's probably that or Ticket to Ride. It probably depends on. I don't actually have easy. Well, I guess I have app access to both of those. I think, but I don't have the physical board game of either of those. But yeah, I would be fine playing either of those. I'd probably go with Castles of Burgundy. I don't know that I would probably win. I don't think I've yet played it. I think I would definitely have to practice it a lot more if I was going to do that to be competitive in it. But I really like it quite a bit, like the game. So I wouldn't mind learning it a little bit more. Or else maybe having to look into some of those techniques for Ticket to Ride if I ended up playing that one. So, but Splendor, I did not win Splendor at all. So if I went in there and I was able to win, that would be... I don't know what that'd be saying about the other players. Because I do not win that game ever. I'm terrible at Splendor. But then we get into Tuesday, which has Great Western Trail.
Just imagining that interview after you won the ring for Splendor. You just be like, I'm terrible at Splendor. I don't know what those guys were doing, but somehow
I had not won a single game of Splendor walking into this tournament, and then I strung off 4 or 5 straight victories. What do you say? But yeah, we got on Tuesday, Great Western Trail, Cascadia, Dune Imperium, and Seven Wonders. So yeah, I don't think I mentioned it, but Castle of Burgundy was Ark Nova and Castle of Burgundy were new ones this year, and then Splendor Ticket to Ride were ones that had been played before. In this one, in this batch, we had Cascadia being new, and the other 3, Great Western Trail, Dune Imperium, and Seven Wonders, were all games that were played this year as well. And Dune Imperium actually ended up being the final, so that was pretty cool as well for such a popular game to be kind of the grand finale, kind of the crowning the champion. I think it was a great. It ended up being a great pick of a game.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think really any of them probably would have been. Yeah. But for some reason that one just felt like it fit.
It does feel right.
It feels like it fit. I don't know why.
Maybe, I mean, that was probably the game that I most saw being played in the open gaming. I just saw 2 or 3 set up at a time once. And I was walking through, I'm like, wow. There are a lot of people playing this game. Obviously, probably some practicing for the game, but it just felt like that one was very popular.
But yeah, I think for this one, I'd probably end up playing Cascadia. That always seems really close to me, so I think you could probably continue to get a little bit better, but I think it'd still be very close in all the games. Maybe I haven't played Great Western Trail, but I really love Maracaibo. They're both by Alexander Pfister, so maybe if I started playing Great Western Trail, it would be one that I would be more willing to play in tournament play, but I haven't actually played that one yet. So yeah, as of right now, I would say Cascadia.
Yeah, I'd go Cascadia as well here. Seven Wonders is also one of the lighter games there, but just not a fan of that one. While Cascadia I do really love, and like you said, it seems like every one of our games, it's within a couple points. And it's usually within 1 point. It's just crazy how close it can be. I'd be interested as to how experts of the game would build their map and kind of think of all the different tiles and how they would connect the terrains.
I think it'd really come down to whoever did the best terrains.
Yeah, I think so.
That's kind of who the winner would be.
Yeah, so definitely going to have to play a lot of Cascadia and just really figure out what the best way to do that is.
Yeah. But yeah, then it's the final day of the non-finals or semifinals. That'll be Wednesday, and then in there we've got Wingspan, Brass Birmingham, Patchwork, and Acquire. So 3 of those were here last year: Wingspan, Brass Birmingham, and Acquire. Patchwork is a new one. It's a little bit different because that's a 2-player game, 2-player only
game.
So
kind of wish they had done Seven Wonders Duel then. Instead,
Right.
if we're opening it up to 2-player games, then I might play Seven Wonders Duel.
That's true.
But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what I think of that, or how they will do that, or how many people are allowed to join that, because that's going to be a lot more games being played if it's
right.
going to be like the same amount of players entering that.
Right. But it plays quicker
It
than some
does.
of them
It's
too.
true. It does. But you're going to need a lot more copies probably, depending on how many they actually let
That's true.
join that part. But it's
I'm
interesting.
guessing it'd be
I like
capped
the
at
idea of
one.
having kind of a different player count for that. That's really cool.
'Cause, yeah, I think there are a lot of people that might only ever play games at 2 players, and having a game that's specifically for 2 players might give them a little bit of an advantage in that one. So it's cool that they are willing to do something at, like you said, at 2 players. And hopefully it'll go well, and maybe they'll add a Seven Wonders Duel or some of the other ones. I really like Fox in the Forest. I don't know if that would ever make it in there or not.
Yeah,
But
Lost Cities as well.
yeah, Lost
That'd be
Cities
awesome.
is a solid one.
But yeah, just how many games is the winner going to have to win of
Right.
that versus someone who's playing like 4 or 5-player games?
Right.
Might only have to win 5 rounds. This one might need to win like 6, 7, 8 rounds possibly.
Right.
So I'm interested in how that's going to work out. But I'll probably, if we do that, I will probably end up going Wingspan again. Since I did actually win in the first round with Wingspan,
Right.
so I know I can do it. I just got to do it like 4 or 5 times in a row.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably do Wingspan as well, unless we did recently get a physical copy of Patchwork. I played it quite a bit on Board Game Arena and liked it a lot, and just been waiting for a deal on it to get the physical copy. So I have liked that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Have to see if if that's maxed out at a whatever player count, and then kind of determine from there how many games it'd have to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a solid one too. But I don't know that I win it here either. I think you and
I
Michaela
do-
kind of crushed
we
me,
do
so I'd
kinda
probably have
beat
to
you
do
up quite a
Wingspan.
bit in that one.
So yeah, that's kind of like a Splendor to me, where I'm like, I feel like I'm doing decent, but then it gets to the final score, and I'm like, Splendor's not final scoring; it's just whoever gets the I think 12 points or whatever it is first wins. But yeah, it gets to the final, and I'm like, wow, did not do as good as I thought I was doing. But yeah, I think it's another solid batch of games here. I think
So
the ones
was how many new games?
So I think we get
4?
Ark Nova, Castles of Burgundy, Cascadia, and Patchwork. So I believe it was 4 new games.
So that's games from last year that were dropped out were Blood Rage, Carcassonne, Dominant Species, Marine, and one more.
What would it have been? Have Azul and Splendor.
Yep.
What would the other one have been? Totally blanking.
Totally blank.
You'll
put it on the screen.
Put it on the screen. But yeah, I think those are some solid new ones in there. Castle of Burgundy, I think, has been a popular one for a while now. And it recently got a new updated edition, so I'm guessing that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
A little bit of a push there. Ark Nova has been hot. Cascadia has been hot. Patchwork, I think, has been a solid 2-player game.
Classic kind of polyomino game.
2-player Uwe.
Around for a
It's
while.
It's the first Uwe game in
Yeah.
there. So giving Uwe some love. Uwe Rosenberg. So it's solid to be able to see that in there. I guess I'd rather have that in there than like an Agricola or something.
Yeah, me too.
Personally. So Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good choices.
I'm interested in Ark Nova, how long those games are going to go.
That is true.
Because
Ark
like
Nova is a
Terraforming
long
Mars,
game.
there were a couple of those that went on quite a while, and I feel like Ark Nova, at
Is
least in our
already long.
experience, is probably a little longer than Terraforming Mars regularly.
And we were
Has
playing
me a little worried.
Yeah, and we were playing with 2 or 3 players when we played it. So if you get up to that 4-player count,
Yeah.
it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you'll have Thursday. You'll have the semifinals based on the winners, and then the finals as well. So yeah, good batch of games there. Yeah, in the comments below, let us know which 4 you would pick from those days. Let us know if you're interested in going, or if you're going to show up next year. If you already got your tickets all booked, that'd be awesome to hear. I'd like to see if anyone's going.
Yeah.
But yeah. Otherwise, you can hopefully check out some of our other content on the World Series of Board Gaming. We hope to see you there. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.